What's going on, everybody? Benny Rose here. Today is a unique review that we are going to be doing. It's not a traditional review that we do, but we may be expanding on the types of things that we provide coverage for outside of toys, video games, music, movies. So, this is going to be more electronic based. So, this actually was important to me because it actually ties into my personal life, my life with my family, things like that. So, quick sidebar is I'm an asthmatic. I have really bad allergies, seasonal allergies, amongst other allergies. Having a cat and having allergies to that cat, which, is kind of redundant, but we live in a world where, sometimes you are a glutton for punishment. So, with that said, many of you know I also have an 8-year-old son, and he also has pretty much everything I have for the most part, the allergies and the asthma. So it's always been a struggle, especially during the winter times where it gets colder and drier and things like that. And we have purifiers around the house and things like that, and they've worked to some degree. But, I've been trying to find a new way to kind of do that throughout the year because we deal with these allergies pretty much every day. So we were actually contacted by a company called Dreo. Dreo is a company that makes electronics across the board. They do anything from fans to air fryers to air conditioners, things like that. But a lot of their stuff is very tech enhanced. And what I say by that is, traditionally when you go out and buy a fan, you're going to see a fan that's going to just have knobs turn on and off, which is mostly what we've had around the house. But with the purifiers that we've done over the years, we've had them that can get synced up to the phone and you can check the filter levels and things like that. So it's been a cool experience in that regard. But I've looked for a way to kind of have something that doesn't have to run all day long, where you have a flexible option that still kind of does that work. So, with that said, there was a great opportunity for a new product that has come out by Dreo. So, again, this is a new kind of review, doing this a little different. So, forgive me if it's not what you're used to. I'm trying to kind of talk about it, bring in that connection with me and the product itself. And I'll show some video that I captured, which is the box itself, the product, and I can talk about it as we look at that. So this is the box for the Dreo. Unfortunately, it came a little banged up, but there was good protection inside. So this particular model is a 2-in-1 fan. This model was something that I have not seen often. Traditionally you'll find either a purifier or you'll find a fan. And this was actually sent to me a month and a half or so ago, but with the weather being as inconsistent as it's been, kind of like the servings at Chipotle,
What did he say?
we didn't think it would be appropriate to run and test this while the weather was still cold. So we're finally having that warmer weather now. So I have taken it out. I have set the display up. This little video, you might hear my son. I don't think the audio might make it through, but this is basically the basic instructions. Pretty straightforward. It's for the most part built already. And the one thing is, right here is the filter that you have to take out, take the plastic off, get that plastic sticker removed as well, which I don't do here, but I have removed it all. And then you insert the filter right back into that slot. This is what the fan looks like. And then you'll see basically when you turn on, it's actually right at the top. Very futuristic looking, really cool, sleek. Love the design, love all the options. And for the most part, the instructions show you what each thing means. The number is the fan speed that's currently running. You have different options. This is where it looks in my living room. Pretty good size. Fits in pretty much just about any corner. My cat was very confused. So this is kind of like one of the factory images of this model. And as you can see, the bottom is that filtration portion. So the one thing I'm concerned with is looking into the HEPA filters on the website for this particular model. They are currently sold out at $40. So my concern is this something that's going to be available for me in the future if I need it? Well, when I need it. And so we'll have to see about that. But this is the app on the iOS, pretty much showing the fan that's available here. all the different options that you can look at. You can actually adjust the oscillation by degree, which is actually really cool. So you can have it at a 30 degree, 90 degree, 120 degree. You can have the purification at different levels. You can have the fan at different levels. You can do this from anywhere. So the one thing I want to really boast about here is my wife is not tech savvy, so when it comes to learning how to use the new stuff in the house, I get those calls. And I was at my workplace office and she asked me about the fan. I was able to turn the app on, see the fan, turn it on for her, and I can actually there's a three-dimensional option, which is really cool about this. So in that app, there's an ability where instead of oscillating it, you can actually adjust it and turn it to the degree that you want, which I think is really cool. So depending on where she's sitting in our living room, there's two different sofas. She'd say, I'm on the left sofa. So I would adjust with her over the phone and I'd say, all right, let me know where it is. And it would oscillate right to her, and then I would make sure that the oscillation is set to that level. So I would say this is like a substantially impressive piece of equipment, and the fact that again, it is definitely something that we needed to use for a little bit. So we've had it running for about maybe 2.5, 3 weeks as of this recording. We've watched the purification. We started at a very high number in the room because obviously the cat dander, the dust, and things like that. Unfortunately, when you have clutter, you get all that. So there's a combination of things that were contributing. And the living room was one of those areas that we did not have a purification piece of equipment at. We have it in our bedrooms, and that's pretty much where it's ended. So this was a great opportunity to put something kind of where everybody is at a larger amounts of the time. So we watched the purification bring everything down to like a 1% within an hour or so, maybe even a little less. And you actually see a filter level. So right now the filter is, with the 3.5 weeks it's been running, I'd say it's about 99%. So it's definitely a good workflow, but we're also not keeping it on all day. Whereas some of my other purifiers in my bedroom, for example, I have it on all the time. So the good thing about that is it's keeping everything consistent. But obviously, electricity, things like that, you want to be mindful of. It's stuff that you want to make sure that you decide on how you want to utilize that. So this is a great opportunity to again have something that, as it's getting hotter where I live, we're going to need a fan and not have to run the air conditioner all the time. I will say we have tested this out on days that it's been hot. On the way home, I'll get the fan prepped, ready. Sometimes I'll even have the purification off. By the time we get home, the downstairs is great, and I don't have to worry about putting the air on unless we're going to come upstairs where it's always hotter. So it definitely helps alleviate having to run the air conditioner. So I would highly, highly recommend checking out this fan. And then also, I'll show some pictures in the post edit of a second fan that was sent over that's more of a air circulator, which is actually being utilized in this room currently. I'll show some pictures of that, and I have them both within the app so I can adjust. And that fan looks more like a traditional fan, but you can oscillate it left to right. You can actually oscillate it up in the air, so you can actually get the air moving around in the room, which is really cool. I known of Dreo in the past because the wife working in retail, I've seen some of these in her locations. So, it's definitely a brand that I have had familiarity with, but no experience. So thank you to Brio for sending these over, because I would say these are really, really top notch. The price points range for this particular model, I'm going to add it in post because I don't remember off the top of my head, but I'll have a link to both of these fans that are available and highly recommend you check them out. Thanks for watching this video. Hope you got a little bit of insight on this. My son and I are thankful to Dreo for helping us make our air a little cleaner in our living space for ourselves and my son. So thank you. I hope everybody has a rocking day. Take care. Have fun, everybody.